Hey Maddie, um, I'm going to show you a couple things about stitching your book. So I was going to do this with you, but I have to be away during AST time, and I didn't know your schedule, so I thought I would give it a try. So bear with me. I have a tiny, tiny little needle, and you have a bigger needle, so that's a better thing. My needle is really small, and I don't have great stitching twine, and I'm using like computer paper. So you're using much better paper and much better line and a better needle. So the first thing you want to do is, let's see if I can do it, thread your needle. Oh boy, I can't even thread the needle with this. Well, hopefully your needle is going to be a little easier to thread. Sometimes if you snip your line, your thread at an angle, you can get it. All right, hopefully that's it. Oh, I was looking for my better needles and I just can't find them. So what you want to do is thread your needle. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah. Thread your needle so that you just have a tail. You don't want to tie any knots. And I've got a piece that's about maybe 18 inches long, just probably no shorter than a foot. You're going to have some waste and that's okay. So I have stitched together, or I'm sorry, gotta get used to this video thing. I've put together 3 pieces of paper, which I think I got to tell you before, and I've marked with the template, which I think you have 5 little places to put holes. I think we started you on that. So the first thing you're going to do is take your thread and you're going to go down through the hole on one side. And I haven't pre-punched because I don't have an awl. So what I have here is the inside with the needle. And if you think of this as a tent, so I just made the rain go down through the tent. And I've got this little tail here. I'm going to leave that tail. I'm going to leave that tail right there. And I'm going to go up through the tent. Try to block off the rain. At that point is when I put my first knot in. Okay, so I'm going to tie a double knot that's just basically like a shoe tying knot, but double. And I'll hold it up here in a second. And again, I think your thread is going to be much easier to work with than mine. Okay, so what I have here is a knot, double knot, and it's pretty tight. There's a little play in it, but that's okay. If there's play in it, what you want to do is pull it kind of toward the next place you're going to go down through. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go down through that next spot. And then I'm going to go up through to the next one. And you're going to go over, under, over, under, over, under. And mine's not perfect here, but so you can see I've kind of missed it, but it's pretty close. It's okay. And I'm keeping it tight as I go. I'm going to go down through the last one. So it's down through the last one. And I'm not going to go around the outside of that because I don't want that thread to be visible. So instead of going around the outside, I'm going back through where back through the next one in line. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that. Going back through, I'm going to pull that pretty tight, just like that. And then I'm going to switch it again to the other side. And I'm going back through that same hole, pulling it tight. I'm going to do the same thing right there. And you'll see in a second what it's going to look like. I'm going to have a black line on the outside with my knots on the outside of the tent and a nice straight line on the inside with no knots. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to just tie it off, again, a double knot, tie it off to itself, tie it off to your little tail that you have, whatever you got going. And you're going to do this as many times as you need to for the folios in your book. You're going to have to be careful specifically with the vellum that you've used, because that's going to be really easy to tear. So you want to be careful. So I'm done with my needle at this point, so I can pull that out and put it aside. And these little tails right here, I'm going to clip those, but I'm not going to clip them so much that I can't retie if necessary. So just like that. Okay. That way, if I really need to retie it, I can. This is all going to be invisible inside the binding eventually, okay? But for now, what you want to do is get as many folios of that paper that we cut as possible, and it's going to look just like this. This is going to eventually be the inside of the binding that you won't see. It's going to be covered. This will be the inside of the book, which you will see, but that's okay. It's part of the handmade sketchbook. So I feel like you probably had about maybe 7 or 8 different folios, and so that's what you'll have, okay? If you have questions, email me, let me know. I can slow it down. I think you'll get it. It's pretty easy. Don't overcomplicate it, but keep it tight, and don't pull it too tight so that you're tearing things, especially with the vellum, okay? I hope you're doing well, all right? And we'll continue this. It'll be fun. Okay, bye-bye.